Towards the beginning of the year, I published my original review of the Maxfun 10 Max, covering its incredible set of name brand features, lightning fast acceleration, impressive top speed, and extremely comfortable ride. In short, the Maxfun 10 Max is a fantastic scooter. However, at the time of that review, it was still a pre-production scooter with a Kickstarter campaign that made the pricing for the scooter a bit convoluted. That meant it was a bit hard to say if the scooter was worth your money, since the amount of money required to buy the scooter varied based on when you purchased it. Now the 10 Max is officially in production with an official price, meaning that I can both give you my long-term impressions of it and tell you how it stacks up against other scooters at the price. So let's do it. At the time of recording this, the current price is $24.99, and that price feels incredible. While this is a great scooter, the original proposed price of nearly $4,000 felt like a stretch when put side by side with the competition at that price. Bang for the buck has always been Maxfun's strength with their other offerings, and the 10 Max is now one of the most loaded scooters at the price. This has an officially tested GPS top speed of 50 miles an hour on flat ground, and I've seen nearly 60 while riding downhill, so it offers more speed than anyone could realistically want. Its 0 to 30 acceleration time in the mid 4-second range for my 205-pound frame means that you're beating just about any car you'd come across while riding off the line. For 99% of riders, you're getting more performance than you'd ever use, performance that is really only found around the $3,000 plus mark. I always felt that if they could keep the production price of the scooter under $3,000, it would be a top tier contender, and they've done even better than that, getting it under $2,500. I know some people have expressed that they felt like the 10-inch tires were a bit small for a scooter this fast, but with some of the best suspension I've tested and the extremely wide tires, I felt no difference in ride quality and stability when compared to the 11-inch high-performance scooters I've tested. Stability at speed is fantastic, and with one of the largest riding platforms I've ever used, you can ensure a foot position that maximizes both stability and control with easy weight shifts. Let's talk now about its long-term reliability. Now, in terms of issues that I've only had a couple small ones. The first one was a front puncture, which I actually was able to seal up super well with some tire sealant. That's one of the big benefits of tubeless tires, is that they are much more receptive to tire sealant, and that can fix the vast majority of flats that you get on your tires. I also let it sit for a little while I was working on other reviews, and I came back to a little bit of front brake rubbing. Now, it did kind of correct itself over time just with a little bit of riding. That's another benefit of the hydraulic disc brakes, is that they will kind of self-correct. You don't have to mess with them too much unless you end up with a bent rotor. Aside from that, it's done nothing but exceed my expectations. We did a ride up at Mount Charleston here in Las Vegas. I did that with my brother, and he rode this scooter, and we saw speeds close to 60 miles an hour on this thing, and it had no problems with stability. It had no problems with bump absorption. So at speeds above its claimed top speed, it still keeps up really well, and it doesn't feel like it is outmatched at all. All right, let's go for a ride on this thing, and I'll talk a little bit more about my impressions of it over the past few months, about 9 months here. A few months ago, I came up here with my brother, and we did kind of a duo ride. And on that ride, he rode this scooter, he rode the 10 Max, and I rode the T-Wing Mars XT, and our plan was to switch about halfway through, so we could both get really high-speed riding impressions, because we ended up going close to 60 miles an hour on some stretches of this road. And he liked this scooter so much that he ended up not wanting to switch. And I thought that was funny. He liked this so much, he was like, I'm just gonna keep riding this one. So I never got a chance to ride it while we were up here, so I figured I'd come up here and do the exact same route that we did with those two scooters, so I could get the same riding impressions. The other reason I'm riding up here, well, two other reasons. The first is because this is Mount Charleston, and as you can see, it's already started snowing up here, so it's about to be kind of impossible to ride up here for a while once it gets really cold. It's still chilly, but it's not unbearable. The other reason is what I kind of consider the closest competition to this scooter up here, or I mean just like at this price point, like kind of one of the best bang for the buck scooters that is similar to this one is the InMotion RS Jet. And I've ridden that scooter up here a few times, and it has overheated every single time. And I've had some people say like, oh, well, you pushed it hard for, you know, 10 miles, of course it's going to overheat. The thing is that when we had this scooter and the T-Wing Mars up here, it didn't overheat. Neither scooter overheated. And so I figure that this would be a good chance to, even though I've already tested it, really solidify that this scooter isn't going to overheat for long stretches along the exact same path where the InMotion RS Jet has overheated. And then obviously also because it is just, generally speaking, very fun to ride up here. It's super scenic. You could just, you know, let loose for big long stretches. You get a really good idea of how the scooter behaves at the highest speeds, how stable it is, how comfortable it is. And it really didn't have any issues with my brother up here. He said it was super stable the entire time. And my brother really doesn't have anywhere near the amount of riding experience I have. And he very comfortably rode this at extremely high speeds for a very long period of time. Now what normally doesn't happen is getting stuck behind a car up here. Normally I'm getting out of the way of cars, but it's rare that I keep up with cars, even on these faster scooters. I'm gonna just take a break and let him get far ahead and let this guy that's coming up behind me pass. But anyway, back to the scooter. As you can see, as I mentioned, no issues with stability, no issues with any sort of speed wobble, anything. And I don't even have the damper installed. The steering damper comes standard with this, so if you are worried about it, you can install it, but I like not having the damper. I like having just a little bit more freedom with the control and a little bit less stiff steering if it can do it comfortably without needing the damper. I also feel like riding with cars like this can be a good illustration of how quick these scooters are. Very comfortably keeping up with traffic. But just generally speaking, this is a fantastic scooter. I've already said it about 4,700 times. And I really think that if you have the budget for it, this is one of the best scooters you can get in this $2,000 to $3,000 price range. I think it competes super well with everything up to $3,000 and even some things above $3,000. I'm kind of watching my speed just a little bit here, just because it is a little wet and there's a lot of extra cars coming here, so I don't want to I don't want to kill myself, but I hope I gave you guys a good idea of what this scooter is capable of. All right, that was just a quick little loop there. 8 miles. This is where the InMotion RS overheat pretty much every time at that 8 mile mark. As suspected, this didn't have any issues. Again, confirming that there is an issue with the InMotion RS, but that's a whole different video. That's a video I've already made. So if you like the scooter, you can check it out down below at the link in the description. There'll also be a discount code there, and it's that time of year where everything is at its absolute best price. So go check it out, support the channel, and get yourself an amazing scooter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.